Welcome to our channel. We are so glad you found your way here. Let us help you fall asleep. Let's begin with the Roman standards, protecting the heart of the military identity. Take a slow, deep breath in and release it. Let the noise of today fall away as we step back, not just hours or years, but centuries, into the vast theater of crime and punishment in ancient Rome. If you genuinely like our videos, please hit like and subscribe. The significance of Roman military standards extended far beyond mere symbols. These emblems served as vital instruments of communication, enabling legions to coordinate on the battlefield with precision and effectiveness. Each standard was adorned with distinct insignia, representing specific units and their allegiances. This feature not only fostered camaraderie but also instilled a sense of collective identity among soldiers. In the chaos of combat, these standards acted as rallying points. Troops would often regroup around their standard bearers, providing a visual anchor amidst the tumult. The sight of a standard raised high could uplift morale, reinforcing the soldier's resolve. Conversely, the loss of a standard was seen as a devastating blow, often resulting in demoralization and a sense of defeat. Crafted from durable materials, these standards were designed to withstand the rigors of battle. The craftsmanship involved reflected both artistry and functionality, ensuring that they remained visible even in the most adverse conditions. The colors and emblems utilized held deep meanings, often derived from mythology or the cultural heritage of the legion. The strategic placement of these standards also played a crucial role in troop movements. Commanders relied on them to signal maneuvers and adjustments during engagements, ensuring that the complex formations characteristic of Roman warfare could be executed effectively. Each standard encapsulated a legacy, a testament to the enduring spirit of Rome's military prowess. The origins of the Roman standards are rooted in a complex interplay of military tradition and cultural evolution. The early formations of Rome relied heavily on symbols to unify troops and instill a sense of identity among soldiers. These emblems were not merely ornamental, they served vital functions in battle, guiding units and bolstering morale. The adoption of these standards marked a pivotal shift in how armies organized themselves, transitioning from loosely affiliated groups to more structured legions. The design of the standards drew from various influences, reflecting the diverse cultures that Rome encountered. The iconic aquila, or eagle, became a prominent symbol, representing both divine favor and military excellence. This choice was deliberate, linking the soldiers to the grandeur of Rome, while invoking the protective powers of the gods. Other symbols often included animal figures and laurel wreaths, each imbued with significance that transcended mere decoration. In the chaotic backdrop of ancient warfare, these standards provided a tangible point of reference amid the tumult. When visibility diminished and confusion reigned, the sight of a standard could rally troops, reminding them of their shared mission and heritage. As Rome expanded its territories, these symbols evolved, becoming integral to the broader narrative of conquest and loyalty that defined Roman military identity. The transformation of the Roman legion marked a pivotal shift in military structure and strategy. Initially, during the Republic, legions were composed primarily of citizen soldiers, reflecting a deeply entrenched sense of civic duty and collective identity. This model enabled swift mobilization across varied terrains, allowing Rome to assert its influence among rival states. Each cohort, a vital unit within the legion, displayed the standard of its unit, reinforcing loyalty and camaraderie among its members. Gradual changes in recruitment shifted the dynamics of these legions. With the expansion of Roma's borders and the increasing demands of warfare, reliance on professional soldiers emerged. This evolution fostered a more cohesive military apparatus, with veterans often settled in conquered lands, further intertwining military service with the expansion of Roman culture. Standards became not just military insignia but also symbols of a new societal order, embodying the strength and unity of a professional army. Leadership roles within the legion became more defined, with generals wielding significant influence over their troops. The incorporation of auxiliary forces contributed to a diverse fighting force, adapting to various combat scenarios encountered across the empire. This period witnessed the codification of tactics and formations, ensuring efficiency during engagements. The legion's development reflected broader socio-political changes, illustrating the intertwining of military and imperial identity. The standards served as a critical focal point within the Roman military organization. Each legion carried its own set of standards, known as vexilla, which were adorned with symbols representing the unit's identity and accomplishments. These objects provided a tangible connection to the history and honor of the legion, fostering a sense of loyalty among soldiers. The presence of standards during battle was essential. They acted as rallying points, guiding troops amidst chaos. Commanders relied on the visibility of these symbols to maintain formation and coherence in the midst of conflict. The loss of a standard was considered a profound dishonor, with severe consequences for the legion that allowed it to fall into enemy hands. Such events underscored the deep psychological attachment soldiers had to their standards, reinforcing their collective identity and purpose. In addition to their battlefield significance, standards played a role in ceremonial function.
The display of these symbols during parades and triumphs served to reinforce the prestige of the legion and the Roman state. They were often intricately crafted, reflecting the artistry and craftsmanship of the era, thus embodying not only military might but also cultural pride. This connection between the standards and the legion's identity persisted throughout the centuries, as they evolved alongside changes in military tactics and societal structures. The enduring legacy of the standards illustrates their integral role in the fabric of Roman military organization. Materials used in the construction of Roman standards were chosen for their durability and visual impact. Wood, typically seasoned and treated, formed the core structure of the standards. This provided a sturdy base capable of withstanding the rigors of battle and the elements. The incorporation of metal, such as bronze and iron, not only reinforced the standards, but also added a lustrous quality, ensuring their visibility across the battlefield. Each standard was adorned with intricately designed embellishments that conveyed deep symbolism. Figures of deities, animals, or military insignia often topped the poles, serving as both a rallying point and a representation of the unit's identity. These ornaments were crafted with precision, reflecting the skill of artisans who understood the importance of conveying power and authority through visual representation. Inscriptions often featured on the standards, celebrating victories or honoring fallen comrades, further solidified their significance. Such markings transformed the standards into repositories of collective memory, binding soldiers to their history and their comrades. The craftsmanship behind these artifacts was not merely functional. It embodied the values and aspirations of the Roman military. Each standard stood as a testament to the strength and unity of the legion, instilling a sense of purpose and commitment among the troops. This connection between materiality and meaning underscored the enduring nature of Roman military identity. The aquila, a prominent standard, served as a powerful emblem of a legion's spirit and unity. Resplendent in its form, it typically featured a golden eagle perched upon a staff, symbolizing strength and divine favor. This representation connected soldiers to their shared heritage, fostering camaraderie within the ranks. The loss of an aquila in battle was not merely a defeat. It represented a profound blow to morale and honor, with legions often seeking to reclaim these standards at any cost. In contrast, the vexillum provided a more portable alternative, frequently utilized in various military contexts. This rectangular banner, often adorned with intricate designs and colors, was versatile for commanding troops and signaling movement. Its utility extended beyond the battlefield, serving ceremonial purposes and marking the presence of commanding officers during significant events. The signum, another vital standard, played a crucial role in organizing troops during formations. It typically consisted of a pole topped with a figure or emblem, guiding soldiers and establishing a sense of order amidst the chaos of conflict. Each type of standard contributed to the complex military identity, reinforcing the bond among soldiers while also serving pragmatic functions. Together, these emblems shaped the ethos of the Roman military, encapsulating both its discipline and its enduring legacy in the annals of history. The aquila, or the eagle standard, served as a profound symbol of the Roman legions, representing not only military might, but also the very soul of Roman identity. Crafted with meticulous detail, this emblem was often adorned with precious metals and intricate designs, elevating its status to that of a sacred artifact. Soldiers revered it, viewing the aquila as a divine protector, infusing their campaigns with a sense of purpose and unity. In battle, the loss of an aquila was tantamount to defeat, a calamity that could demoralize even the staunchest warriors. Its presence inspired loyalty, courage, and a fierce commitment to the empire's expansion. Each legion carried its own aquila, further reinforcing the pride and camaraderie among troops. This singular focus on the eagle extended beyond the battlefield, permeating the cultural fabric of Rome itself. The aquila's significance transcended mere military function. It became a potent symbol of Roman values, such as honor and patriotism. Following the triumphs of their campaigns, returning legions would present their aquila to the people, cementing their victories in the collective memory. This ritual not only reinforced the legion's accomplishments, but also served to galvanize the populace, reminding them of their shared heritage and the power of their enduring empire. The vexillum, a pivotal symbol of the Roman army, held profound significance beyond mere decoration. This rectangular banner, often made from cloth, was affixed to a horizontal crossbar atop a pole, serving as a rallying point for troops in the chaos of battle. It provided both guidance and impetus, marking units on the field, creating a visual anchor amidst the tumult. Each vexillum bore distinct insignia, often depicting the unit's emblem, allowing soldiers to identify their comrades and command structure swiftly. In addition to its practical uses, the vexillum represented loyalty and unity. Soldiers pledged their allegiance to the emblem, often associating it with their honor and identity within the larger military framework. It was not merely a flag. It embodied the spirit and history of the legion it represented. During parades and triumphs, the vexillum was displayed prominently, reinforcing the military's connection to the state and its citizens. The fabric of the vexillum, often dyed in vibrant hues, would flutter in the wind, visually asserting the presence of the legion. This dynamic display communicated both strength and stability, serving as a reminder of the might of Rome. Over time, these banners became revered artifacts, enduring symbols of the martial prowess and discipline that characterized Roman military tradition. The signum served as a vital emblem for the cohort, representing not only the identity of its soldiers, but also their unity and purpose. This standard, typically composed of a vertical pole adorned with various insignia, varied in design across different legions and periods. Each signum bore distinct elements, often including animal figures, religious symbols, or the insignia of the emperor. These designs conveyed both pride and motivation, reinforcing the soldiers' allegiance to their specific cohort. In contrast to the larger standards of the legions, the signum was more intimate, fostering a sense of belonging among its members. Its presence on the battlefield offered a tangible focus, guiding soldiers through chaos and uncertainty. Each cohort's signum became a rallying point, a beacon amidst the turmoil of combat. The variations in design reflected the unique histories and traditions of the different cohorts, enriching the broader narrative of Roman military heritage. As these standards were carried into battle, they were often accompanied by rituals and ceremonies, further embedding their significance within the military culture. The loss of a signum was considered a grave dishonor, symbolizing a breakdown of cohesion and discipline. This profound connection to identity and purpose ensured the signum remained an essential aspect of Roman military life, resonating through centuries of history and tradition. Thermals and imagery played a pivotal role in the communication of allegiance and values within the Roman military. Each standard, or vexillum, was adorned with distinct emblems that imparted significant meanings. Often, these representations included the images of deities, animals, and mythological motifs, which served not only as identifiers but also as sources of inspiration for the soldiers. The eagle, a prominent symbol, epitomized the power and divine favor bestowed upon the legion, while the wolf invoked the legendary origins of Rome itself. This region of imagery extended to the intricate designs found on the standards, reflecting the pride and accomplishments of the legion it represented. Each embellishment told a story of victories, territorial conquests, and the virtues that defined Roman identity. The colors employed were equally significant, with red symbolizing courage and valor, while gold and silver often indicated rank and prestige within the hierarchy of the military. The standards acted as unifying forces during the chaos of battle. When visibility diminished, the sight of these icons provided reassurance, reminding soldiers of their shared purpose and heritage. In the turmoil of warfare, the steady presence of these symbols maintained morale, grounding legions in their collective history and ideals, reinforcing their commitment to each other and to Rome itself. Such artistry and symbolism not only shaped military identity, but also carved a lasting imprint on the cultural landscape of ancient Rome. Colloid landscape of ancient Rome. Colors played a pivotal role in the visual language of Roman standards. Each hue was meticulously chosen to convey specific meanings and evoke strong emotional responses among the ranks. The deep crimson of the banners often symbolized valor and sacrifice, a reminder of the bloodshed in the name of Rome. This shade served as a rallying point, instilling courage and unity among soldiers, reinforcing their commitment to the state. Gold, often used in the detailing of standards, represented wealth and divine favor. It signified the glory of victory and the favor of the gods, elevating the status of the legions. This metallic sheen reflected the sun, catching the eye and inspiring awe in both allies and adversaries. White, frequently appearing in the decorations, was emblematic of purity and hope, fostering a sense of optimism in the face of adversity. The contrasting colors also served a more practical purpose. Each legion utilized distinct patterns, allowing for quick identification on the battlefield. This visual differentiation was crucial amid the chaos of combat, enabling commanders to maintain formation and strategy. The careful selection and application of these colors not only encapsulated military values, but also reinforced the broader narrative of Roman identity, echoing through the annals of history. This role was crucial within the Roman legions, where the signifer served not only as a bearer of the standards, but as a symbol of unity and morale. Each standard, adorned with specific insignia, represented the legion's unique identity, instilling pride among its soldiers. The signifer stood at the forefront during battles, a visible emblem amidst the chaos. Equipped with a staff topped by the standard, their presence provided a focal point around which troops could rally. The standard's prominence ensured that soldiers remained oriented, even in the tumult of combat. This function extended beyond the battlefield. During marches and ceremonies, the signifer's duty was to maintain the legion's honor and cohesion. The responsibilities of this position also included safeguarding the standard against enemy capture, a task imbued with profound significance. Loss of the standard was regarded as a severe dishonor, often resulting in dire consequences for the unit involved. Training for signifers involved rigorous discipline, emphasizing both physical prowess and leadership qualities. In times of peace, the signifer participated in ceremonial duties, reinforcing the connection among soldiers and their heritage. These observances served to strengthen the bonds within the ranks, further solidifying the identity of the Roman legions and their place in the empire's expansive history. The responsibilities of the signifer were pivotal in maintaining the cohesion and morale of the troops. This role extended beyond mere standard bearing. It encompassed the training of new recruits and the continual reinforcement of discipline within the ranks. A signifer was often an experienced soldier, selected for both prowess in battle and exceptional leadership qualities. It was essential for this individual to embody the virtues of bravery and loyalty, serving as a living symbol of the legion's values. Training sessions conducted by the signifer focused on instilling a sense of duty and honor among the soldiers. Drills and formations were meticulously practiced, with emphasis placed on the synchronized movement of the cohort. The standard itself, adorned with intricate designs and inscriptions, was not just a flag. It represented the very soul of the legion. Maintaining its integrity was a matter of both pride and tactical importance. During campaigns, the signifer's role became even more critical. Positioned at the front lines, they provided guidance and direction amidst the chaos of battle. The sight of the standard rallied the troops, offering a rallying point that inspired courage and determination. Each soldier's commitment to their duties was reflected in the unwavering presence of the signifer, reinforcing the collective identity of the Legion as they advanced into history. The standards served a crucial function in battle formation, acting as rallying points around which troops could organize and maintain cohesion amidst the chaos of combat. These banners, often adorned with symbols representing the Legion's identity, provided both physical and psychological anchors. In the heat of battle, the sight of a standard could inspire soldiers, instilling a sense of unity and purpose amidst the fear and uncertainty surrounding them. Fajnai de Manto positioned strategically, these insignias marked the commander's location, allowing for effective communication and coordination among the ranks. Soldiers could quickly identify their unit's position relative to others, facilitating maneuvers and fostering a collective response to changing battlefield dynamics. The standards also contributed to the formation structure, helping to delineate specific units and their roles within the larger tactical framework. The loss of a standard during combat was viewed as a significant blow, symbolizing not just a tactical defeat but a deep wound to the Legion's honor. Such events could lead to profound demoralization, reinforcing the need to protect these representations of identity and authority. As formations clashed on the field, the resilience of the soldiers was often tested against the backdrop of these revered symbols, embodying the legacy and continuity of the Roman military ethos. The standards thus became integral to the very essence of Roman martial identity. The psychological impact of standards on troops manifested in profound ways, shaping not only individual soldier morale, but also the cohesion of entire legions. These emblems carried with them a sense of pride and belonging, instilling a collective identity that transcended personal differences. Soldiers rallied around their standards, drawing strength from their shared commitment to the ideals and values they represented. In times of battle, the sight of the familiar insignia offered reassurance and motivation. The standards served as a beacon, guiding troops through chaos and uncertainty. Loss of a standard could lead to devastating consequences, not solely in terms of military strategy, but also in the psychological realm. Such an event could result in despair, confusion, and a marked decline in morale, illustrating the deep-seated connection between these symbols and the soldier's sense of purpose. Beyond individual units, standards influenced the larger narrative of Roman identity. They embodied the might and unity of the empire, reinforcing loyalty to the state and its ambitions. This contributed to a formidable psychological edge over adversaries, as the troops understood that they were part of something greater than themselves. The standards became a fusion of hope and fear, representing both the glory of triumph and the looming specter of defeat, shaping the very fabric of military engagement throughout Roman history. Standards served as critical rallying points, anchoring soldiers amidst the chaos of battle. In the heat of conflict, they provided a visible and tangible symbol of unity, drawing warriors toward a shared purpose. Each standard bore insignia that communicated identity, allegiance, and honor, forging an emotional connection between the troops and their commanding officers. This connection became vital when the din of combat threatened to sever the bonds of camaraderie. The sight of a standard raised high could bolster morale, instilling confidence during pivotal moments of engagement. When formations began to waver, the presence of these symbols acted as a beacon, guiding soldiers back into alignment. Across the battlefield, they could be seen fluttering against the backdrop of dust and turmoil, a steadfast reminder of what was at stake. An unwavering standard could inspire courage, transforming fear into resolve. Conversely, The loss of a standard could signify a profound psychological blow. When captured or relinquished, it often led to demoralization and chaos within the ranks. The implications reached far beyond the immediate moment. A lost standard could tarnish reputations and alter the course of future engagements. Thus, these objects encapsulated more than military pride. They embodied the very essence of loyalty, valor, and the enduring struggle for supremacy in the tumultuous landscape of warfare. The loss of a standard represented a profound psychological and cultural impact, reverberating through the ranks and society at large. Without this emblem, a legion faced not merely a tactical setback, but an existential crisis. This region, once vibrant with the colors of their banner, became a somber ground for reflection and mourning. The absence of the standard induced a palpable sense of vulnerability, leaving soldiers questioning their loyalty and unity. The consequences of such a loss extended beyond the battlefield. Families of the fallen and the communities they hailed from shared in this grief, as the standard had symbolized protection and honor. This emblem, held high amidst the tumult, served as a beacon of hope and resilience. Its disappearance signified a fracture in the collective identity, prompting a cultural re-evaluation of valor and dedication to the state. In the aftermath of a lost standard, communities often engaged in rituals to mourn the fallen emblem. Ceremonies were held to honor its memory, reinforcing the bonds of loyalty among soldiers and civilians alike. Stories of bravery and sacrifice surrounding the standard became entwined with local folklore, ensuring that its legacy persisted, even in absence. This cultural significance transformed loss into a catalyst for remembrance, shaping future generations' understanding of honor and duty. Ceremonial functions surrounding the standards played a pivotal role in reinforcing the military identity within Roman culture. These rituals were steeped in tradition, reflecting both reverence and the unyielding bonds between soldiers and their emblematic symbols. Each standard carried immense weight. More than mere objects, they were manifestations of loyalty and pride. The process of consecration marked the commencement of these rituals. During elaborate ceremonies, priests would invoke the favor of the gods, ensuring protection over the soldiers and their standards. Sacred offerings accompanied these rites, signifying gratitude and the desire for divine support. It established a sacred connection, intertwining the fate of the military with celestial forces. Daily routines also included the presentation of the standards during formations. Soldiers, lined in disciplined rows, would salute their standards with unwavering respect. This act served as a reminder of their oath, reinforcing the collective identity and purpose among the ranks. These moments, steeped in gravity, underscored the unbreakable bond between the men and their standards. Military campaigns often began with the display of the standards, signaling unity and determination. The sight of these revered emblems instilled confidence in the troops, fostering a shared sense of mission. As battles unfolded, the standards remained central, guiding and rallying soldiers through the chaos, exemplifying the enduring spirit of Rome's martial legacy. The presence of standards extended into the realm of religious practice, serving as symbols of divine protection. Each standard, often adorned with sacred imagery or inscriptions, represented not only military might, but also the favor of the gods. This connection between the standards and divine guardianship established a profound relationship between the soldiers and their deities. Rituals were conducted to consecrate these emblems, invoking blessings for victory and safety in battle. The ceremonies surrounding these standards were marked by solemnity, reflecting the deep reverence soldiers held for the forces they believed influenced their fates. Priests and military leaders would invoke the names of gods such as Mars, the deity of war, and Jupiter, the king of the gods, seeking their guidance and assistance. These moments reinforced the belief that the standards were more than mere objects. They were conduits through which divine will could be channeled. In times of uncertainty, the sight of these sacred emblems would bolster morale, reminding soldiers of their sacred duty and the higher powers watching over them. The standards, thus, became a focal point in both the battlefield and spiritual realms, intertwining martial identity with religious devotion. This fusion exemplified the intricate relationship between military service and faith in ancient Rome, shaping the ethos of its soldiers. This connection extended far beyond the mere physical presence of the standards. They embodied the very essence of Roman identity, serving as a visual representation of loyalty, discipline, and unity. Each standard, adorned with intricate designs and symbols, was a reminder of the shared history and values that bound the legionaries together. Within these formations, the standards inspired courage in the face of adversity, acting as a beacon amidst the chaos of battle. But the significance of these emblems transcended military engagements. They were also deeply woven into the civic life of Rome, reinforcing the notion of a collective identity. Ceremonies and public displays often featured the standards, linking military triumphs to the glory of the state. This interaction fostered a sense of pride among the populace, who viewed the legions as protectors of their way of life. Civilians revered the standards, acknowledging their role in maintaining order and security. The loss of a standard in combat was not merely a military failure, it was a symbolic defeat that resonated throughout the empire. Such events prompted profound reflections on honor and valor, further cementing the standards as pivotal to understanding Roman identity. They were more than objects. They were the embodiment of an enduring legacy that defined a civilization. The imagery surrounding these standards served as a potent tool of Roman propaganda. Each standard, adorned with intricate designs, conveyed messages of power, unity, and divine favor. They were often depicted in sculptures, mosaics, and various forms of artwork, reinforcing the strength of the empire and the righteousness of its endeavor. In battle, the presence of these symbols provided not only guidance for soldiers, but also a psychological advantage, sending a clear message to both allies and adversaries. Political leaders understood the importance of these standards in shaping public perception. They were prominently displayed during triumphal processions, reinforcing the narrative of military success and territorial expansion. This region became a stage for visual communication, where each standard acted as a reminder of loyalty and sacrifice. In the hearts of citizens, these representations fostered a sense of pride and belonging, connecting the populace to the military's achievements. The standards also served a crucial role in the integration of conquered peoples, as they symbolized the overarching authority of Rome. Adopting the Roman standards often meant embracing a new identity, one that was intricately linked to the empire's grandeur. Through this careful manipulation of symbols, the standards became instruments of cultural assimilation, bridging gaps between diverse groups within an expansive civilization. Their significance transcended mere military function, becoming the very heart of Roman identity. Roman standards served as pivotal symbols of discipline and cohesion within the military ranks. They represented a unifying force, instilling a sense of purpose and identity among soldiers. Each standard, meticulously crafted and adorned with unique insignia, reflected the values and spirit of the legions it represented. These emblems were not merely decorative. They held profound meaning, acting as a physical manifestation of loyalty and commitment. In the heat of battle, the sight of a standard provided reassurance and motivation, guiding troops through chaos. The discipline it demanded was evident in the formation and maneuvering of soldiers, who understood that their actions were tethered to the honor of their unit. This connection fostered a collective identity, reinforcing the notion that each soldier was part of something greater than themselves, a crucial element in maintaining morale. The role of standards also extended to the organization of military units. They facilitated communication and coordination during complex operations, allowing leaders to convey commands and strategies effectively. By rallying around these symbols, soldiers could maintain order amidst the tumult of warfare, ensuring that formations held firm against external threats. And in peacetime, standards played a vital role in ceremonial functions, further cementing the bonds of loyalty and tradition within the ranks. These practices contributed to the enduring legacy of the Roman military, embedding the significance of their standards deep within the fabric of Roman culture. The evolution of military standards from the early Republic marked a significant transformation in the organization and identity of Roman legions. Initially, these symbols were rudimentary, often consisting of simple staffs, topped with basic insignias. They served primarily to maintain unit cohesion on the battlefield, guiding soldiers amidst the chaos of conflict. As the Republic matured, so did the complexity and artistry of these standards. The introduction of the aquila, or eagle, as the primary standards symbolized not only military might, but also the unification of legions under a common banner. This emblem became sacred, representing the soul of the legion and fostering a profound sense of loyalty among troops. The loss of an aquila was considered a catastrophic event, instilling a sense of responsibility that transcended individual soldiering. These standards evolved further during the late Republic, as various factions and generals sought to distinguish their legions. Each leader embraced unique motifs and designs, reflecting their personal values and ambitions. This regional variation in standards contributed to a rich visual language, allowing quick identification on the battlefield. Over time, these military standards transcended their original function, becoming iconic representations of Roman identity, power, and the relentless ambition of an expanding empire. The legacy of these emblems continues to resonate through history, reinforcing the enduring connection between military and culture. Von Wiedandvuller's view and cultures on Roman standards is evident in their design and symbolism. Elements borrowed from the Etruscans and Greeks infused these emblems with rich layers of meaning, reflecting a synthesis of ideas that transcended geographical boundaries. The Etruscans, known for their artistry, contributed intricate motifs and religious symbols, which adorned banners and flags. This melding of styles not only enhanced the visual appeal, but also created a sense of shared heritage. Greek influences are similarly apparent, particularly in the adoption of the iconic eagle, which served as a powerful symbol of authority and divine protection. This avian emblem, representing Jupiter, showcased the Romans' reverence for the gods and their desire to align military might with celestial favor. Standards became not merely military insignia, but also statements of cultural identity and unity. Interactions with Celtic and Eastern cultures further diversified the imagery found on standards. The incorporation of new motifs, such as laurel wreaths and ornate designs from the East, reflected Rome's expanding influence. Each standard, therefore, became a canvas of cultural dialogue, embodying the stories and traditions of the peoples within the empire. Such exchanges enriched the Roman military identity, creating a complex visual language that spoke to both conquest and cooperation, ensuring that these emblems would endure through time. The standards held immense significance during the Roman civil wars, serving as vital symbols of loyalty and betrayal. Their presence on the battlefield could rally troops, instilling a sense of unity among soldiers who rallied to their chosen commander. Each standard, adorned with intricate designs and inscriptions, represented more than mere military might. Am Christmas the Praetri van Rossel Piet, he presented more than mere military might. It embodied the allegiance of those who fought beneath it. The loss of a standard often resulted in a profound psychological impact, evoking a sense of shame and defeat that could unravel even the most disciplined legions. Roaring these tumultuous conflicts, competing factions vied for control, and the standards became focal points of both loyalty and defection. Allegiances shifted, with soldiers frequently changing sides as fortunes fluctuated. The standards, therefore, not only indicated the strength of a faction but also signified the treachery that could arise among the ranks. Betrayals unfolded like quiet tremors through the battalions, as once steadfast soldiers turned their backs on their commanders. Amidst the chaos, approached Marcins through the battalions, as once steadfast soldiers turned their backs on their commanders. Amidst the chaos, the standards remained constant, their fabric enduring the trials of loyalty and betrayal. The visual language they conveyed became a stark reminder of the stakes involved in the struggle for power, reflecting the fragility of trust in the ever-changing landscape of Roman ambition. Through these events, the standards solidified their place in history as icons of both conflict and identity. The expansion of the Roman Empire was marked by the presence of these standards, which served not only as military insignia but also as symbols of unity and strength. As legions marched into unfamiliar territories, they carried their standards high, asserting dominance over vast landscapes. Each standard became a beacon of Roman authority, guiding soldiers through the tumultuous journey of conquest. In distant lands, the sight of these standards instilled fear in adversaries and offered reassurance to allied tribes. They represented the enduring spirit of Rome, a testament to the empire's reach and ambition. With each new territory acquired, the standards were firmly planted, signifying the assimilation of diverse cultures under a singularly powerful banner. The strategies employed by commanders often revolved around the manipulation of these emblems. Troops rallied around the standards during skirmishes, their presence elevating morale and cohesion among the ranks. The intricate designs and insignia conveyed not only military prowess, but also the cultural aspects of the empire, blending local traditions with Roman ideals. As the empire expanded, the standards evolved, reflecting the changing identity of the Roman military. They became repositories of stories, memories, and the sacrifices that were made in the name of glory. Each standard told a tale, immortalizing the legacy of the legionaries who fought valiantly beneath its shadows. The role of standards in naval forces, particularly within the classis, extended beyond mere symbolism. These banners represented the authority and presence of the Roman fleet on the vast waters. Each standard, adorned with intricate designs and colors, served as a focal point for sailors navigating the challenges of maritime warfare. The visual identity established by these standards fostered unity among the diverse crews aboard various vessels, forging a collective spirit essential for effective operation at sea. Within this context, the classis operated not only as a military force, but also as a vital instrument of imperial power. The standards were often held aloft during engagements, rallying troops and instilling a sense of purpose amidst the chaos of battle. Their visibility became paramount, guiding the ships in formation while providing a reference point in the tumult of the ocean. These emblems carried with them the weight of tradition and authority, signifying loyalty to the emperor and the empire. As they fluttered in the wind, they also served a diplomatic function, signaling presence and intent to both allies and adversaries. The intricate designs and colors informed onlookers of the fleet's origins and its mission. In this way, the standards of the classis embodied the duality of military might and political significance, reinforcing the enduring legacy of Rome across both land and sea. The impact of standards extended beyond mere symbolism, positioning them as pivotal components in Roman military strategy. Each standard represented not only the legion's identity, but also served as a rallying point during engagements. It provided soldiers with a visual cue, uniting them under a common emblem, reinforcing camaraderie amidst the chaos of battle. The sight of a standard was often a source of morale, a beacon of hope that solidified the bond between troops. Strategically, the placement of these standards on the battlefield was of utmost importance. Commanders utilized them to organize formations, direct movements, and communicate during combat. Their visibility allowed for quick assessments of troop positions and facilitated efficient maneuvers, anchoring the army's tactical decisions. In the aftermath of conflict, the preservation of a standard became a matter of honor. Loss or damage could signify defeat, while the retrieval of a fallen standard was a powerful act of reclamation. This emotional resonance further elevated their status, making them crucial to the psychological aspects of warfare. The integration of standards into military architecture underscored their significance. Temples and monuments often featured depictions of these emblems, highlighting their role in the broader cultural narrative of Roman triumph and resilience. In essence, they encapsulated the very essence of Roman military ethos, intertwining identity, strategy, and legacy. The standards guided formations, influencing tactics and battlefield strategies. Their presence provided a focal point around which legions organized, enhancing cohesion amidst chaos. Soldiers instinctively rallied to the glinting metal, the vibrant fabrics, acting as a beacon of unity during the tumult of combat. In close-quarter engagements, the standards served as vital markers, ensuring formations maintained integrity. This ability to regroup under the watchful emblem facilitated coordinated maneuvers and effective response to enemy actions. Commanders often utilized the standards to signal shifts in tactics, directing movements with precision and instilling a sense of purpose among the ranks. Beyond the immediate battlefield, these symbols disseminated the military's identity across regions. Conquests were not merely territorial, they were expressions of Roman power and culture, with standards acting as an extension of this influence. The sight of the eagle or the SPQR insignia inspired fear in opponents, while instilling pride in allied communities. The psychological impact was profound. The unwavering presence of the standards reassured soldiers of their heritage and collective strength. Even in retreat, the standards represented a resolve to fight another day, a reminder of the enduring legacy of Roman valor. This unwavering connection between identity and strategy played a crucial role in shaping the military's effectiveness and reputation across centuries. Famous battles throughout history reveal the integral role of standards in defining the outcome and morale of military forces. The Battle of Aquae Sextiae, fought in 121 BCE, showcased the significance of the Roman Eagle standard. Its presence inspired troops, reinforcing loyalty and a sense of purpose. The standard served not only as a rallying point, but also as a symbol of the empire's might, ensuring disciplined formations in the heat of conflict. In the Battle of Cannae during the Second Punic War, the Carthaginian forces, led by Hannibal, utilized their own standards to communicate commands and maintain cohesion amidst chaos. The sight of the prominent standards enabled soldiers to navigate the battlefield effectively, illustrating how critical visual symbols were in maintaining unity and strategy. The Battle of the Teutoburg Forest further emphasizes the tragic consequences of losing a standard. The Varian legions faced a devastating ambush, and the loss of their Eagle standard marked a significant blow to Roman prestige. This event exemplified how standards were more than mere objects. They embodied the essence of military identity and honor. Through these case studies, it is evident that standards were vital in influencing the course of battles, shaping not only tactical decisions, but also the collective spirit of the soldiers involved. The connection between standards and Roman citizenship is profound, revealing layers of societal values and responsibilities. Standards were not solely military symbols. They represented the ideals of Roman identity. The presence of these emblems on the battlefield acted as a reminder of the duties citizens owed to their state and to each other. When soldiers rallied around their standards, they reaffirmed their commitment to the Republic, reinforcing their roles as protectors of the Roman way of life. The colors and imagery of these standards served to evoke emotions tied to citizenship. Each emblem articulated a shared history and heritage, fostering a sense of unity among diverse individuals. This visual language transcended personal backgrounds, knitting together various social classes into a cohesive fighting force. The standards were, in essence, a collective representation of loyalty and honor that each citizen aspired to embody. In times of conflict, the loss or capture of a standard carried immense psychological weight. It was not merely the physical object that was lost, but the perceived loss of honor and legitimacy. The act of reclaiming a captured standard became a rallying point, mobilizing soldiers to restore their pride and reaffirm their allegiance to Rome. This interplay between standards and citizenship underscores the intricate relationship that defined the Roman military ethos. The standards, thus, were both a rallying point and a mirror reflecting the values of Roman society. Conquest introduced a profound transformation in the provinces, as local standards were often co-opted and integrated into the Roman military identity. This blending of symbols reflected a complex interplay between the conquerors and the subdued. In many instances, local leaders adopted Roman styles, altering their own standards to resonate with the imperial ethos. Such modifications served to legitimize their authority under Roman rule, while simultaneously fostering a sense of belonging to the expansive empire. Altered insignia often featured elements from both cultures, resulting in unique representations of power and allegiance. These newly formed standards became instruments of governance, reinforcing Roman ideals among the local populace. This integration did not merely impose Roman dominance, rather, it allowed for a dialogue between traditions, creating a nuanced cultural landscape. The psychological effect on the conquered was significant. The presence of familiar symbols, now adorned with Roman elements, helped ease the transition into a new socio-political structure. Yet, Tensions occasionally simmered beneath the surface, as some local factions resisted the encroachment of Roman customs. The resulting hybridization of standards served both to unify and to divide, illustrating the complexities of cultural exchange in the imperial context. In the fading remnants of these provinces, one can often still discern the echoes of that intricate relationship, where local pride and imperial ambition intertwined in the fabric of history. The influence of standards extended beyond Roman legions, permeating the military structures of neighboring cultures. In various non-Roman armies, these symbols served as powerful identifiers, reflecting both allegiance and identity. The presence of banners and emblems among the Celts, for instance, signified tribal cohesion and valor. A valor often accompanied by vibrant colors and intricate designs that conveyed tales of ancestry and heroism. In the East, the Persian army showcased a different approach to standards. Their banners, often adorned with animal motifs, conveyed a sense of divine protection and authority. Each emblem represented not only a military unit, but also the empire's vast cultural heritage, embodying a connection to the land and its people. The strategic use of these symbols fostered unity among diverse groups, reinforcing loyalty to a central power. The significance of standards remained evident in Asian military traditions as well. Chinese dynasties employed elaborate flags and insignia, symbolizing rank and organization. These elements were integral to battlefield strategy, as they facilitated communication and coordination among troops, reflecting the harmony of command and control. Across these various cultures, standards acted as both practical tools and profound expressions of identity. Their roles, while differing in execution, shared the common purpose of instilling pride and fortitude, echoing the sentiments of those who carried them into the fray. The gradual decline of the Roman standards emerged from a confluence of factors, altering the very essence of military identity. Internal strife within the empire weakened the centralized authority, leading to a fragmentation of loyalty among the legions. This disunity diminished the revered symbols, as the standards became mere relics, overshadowed by political turbulence. Economic turmoil further compounded the situation, straining resources and diluting the rigorous training that once defined the soldiers. With Ascets, Alad, and Bethors, the significance of the standards waned. With the rise of mercenary forces, allegiance shifted away from the once sacred emblems toward personal gain. The standards, once a beacon of unity and discipline, struggled to maintain their revered status. This shift eroded the cohesion that had fortified the ranks during earlier campaigns. The effects of this decline reverberated throughout the military structure. With the standards losing their symbolic weight, the ability to inspire loyalty and courage among troops diminished. Soldiers, no longer bound by the same fervor, faced challenges in maintaining morale during critical engagements. The transformation of standards during the Tetrarchy marked a significant evolution in military identity. This period introduced a shift towards a more organized and centralized approach, reflecting the complexities of governance and warfare. Standards, once simply symbols of allegiance, became intricate representations of power and authority. They served not only to rally troops, but also to instill a sense of unity and purpose amid the vast empire. In this new framework, the design of standards became increasingly elaborate, adorned with imagery that conveyed divine favor and imperial ambitions. Each emperor, as they ruled in tandem, sought to establish a distinct identity through their standards, fostering competition, yet also cooperation within the military hierarchy. This duality contributed to the notion of a collective Roman identity, crucial in a time marked by regional strife and external threats. The shift also saw the introduction of new materials and techniques in standard production. Robust fabrics and intricate metalwork enhanced durability and visibility on the battlefield. This evolution not only improved practicality, but also reinforced the psychological impact of standards, serving as beacons of hope and resilience. As the Tetrarchy progressed, these symbols became synonymous with the values of loyalty and sacrifice, embodying the essence of Roman military ethos while adapting to the challenges of an ever-changing political landscape. The legacy of these standards would resonate far beyond their time, influencing future military traditions. The evolution of military standards continued to unfold as the Byzantine Empire emerged, drawing heavily from Roman traditions while adapting them to new contexts. It was within this region that the significance of the standards evolved, taking on a dual role as both a rallying point for troops and a symbol of imperial authority. The once straightforward banners transformed into intricate designs adorned with rich symbolism, reflecting the empire's Christian identity. A notable feature of these standards was the incorporation of religious iconography, which served to inspire and unify soldiers under a common faith. This practice infused the military with a sense of divine purpose, intertwining spiritual belief with martial duty. The colors and images chosen for the standards communicated messages of power and protection, reinforcing the loyalty of the soldiers to both their emperor and their faith. The standards also held strategic significance on the battlefield. Their visibility allowed commanders to maintain cohesion among troops amid the chaos of combat. The banners became beacons, guiding soldiers through the turmoil while instilling confidence and resolve. As the Byzantine military adapted these emblems, they retained the essence of Roman influence while forging a distinct identity. This melding of tradition and innovation solidified the role of military standards as enduring symbols of unity and strength throughout the ages. The legacy of these standards profoundly influenced medieval warfare, where the ideals encapsulated by Roman standards continued to resonate. Military banners became pivotal in rallying troops, instilling a sense of identity and purpose. They served not only as markers on the battlefield, but also as powerful symbols of allegiance and honor. The distinct colors and emblems associated with different factions provided immediate recognition, fostering unity among soldiers, even amidst the chaos of combat. In this era, the design of standards evolved, incorporating elements that reflected local cultures and customs. Heraldry emerged as a significant feature, with coats of arms bearing family crests and regional insignias. These adaptations further entrenched the standards in the identity of the prevailing military forces. Engaged in conflicts across Europe, knights and infantry recognized the importance of these symbols in maintaining morale and coherence during warfare. The influence of Roman standards extended beyond the battlefield, permeating the social fabric of medieval society. They became crucial in ceremonial occasions, signifying rank and authority. The rituals surrounding the presentation and display of these banners underscored their status as cherished possessions, often bequeathed through generations. As these standards evolved, they encapsulated the enduring legacy of unity and strength, bridging the ancient past with the medieval present. The recruitment process of the Roman army relied heavily upon the symbolism conveyed by these standards. They served as visual manifestations of the collective identity and honor associated with military service. When potential recruits encountered these emblems, they felt an immediate connection to the storied legacy of valor and discipline that defined their predecessors. This emotional resonance was pivotal in attracting individuals eager to join the ranks. During recruitment, standards were prominently displayed in public spaces, drawing attention and fostering a sense of pride among local populations. The presence of these insignia signaled the strength and stability of the Roman state, enticing young men to enlist. It was not merely a call to arms, it was an invitation to become part of a prestigious and cohesive unit. The standards also played a practical role in the organization of the army. They demarcated units, enabling recruits to identify their place within the larger military structure. This clarity facilitated a smoother integration into the ranks and reinforced the notion of belonging. As recruits marched under these emblems, they absorbed the values and traditions embodied by their respective standards. Through this connection, the Roman army ensured a steady influx of motivated individuals, each eager to uphold the ideals that these standards represented, thus maintaining the strength of the military identity. Logistics played a vital role in the effectiveness of the Roman military, intertwining seamlessly with the standards that symbolized unity and purpose. Each legion was equipped with a distinct standard, often adorned with icons that reflected their history and achievements. These emblems extended beyond mere symbols, serving as rallying points in the chaos of battle and guiding logistical operations across vast territories. The presence of these icons facilitated communication in complex supply chains, marking the locations of supply depots and reinforcement stations. Soldiers recognized their standards from great distances, fostering a sense of reassurance and direction amidst the uncertainty of warfare. This connection to their standards ensured that logistical movements were both efficient and effective, as troops relied on the visual cues provided by these emblems to navigate the landscape. The Roman commitment to organized supply routes further reinforced the military identity. Storage facilities, often stationed near the front lines, were systematically labeled according to the corresponding legionary standards. This meticulous organization allowed for rapid distribution of essential resources, ensuring that every unit was adequately equipped. In this environment, the standards became more than military icons. They represented an intricate web of support systems, binding together the strategic elements of supply and combat readiness, thus solidifying the enduring legacy of the Roman military. Artistic representations of standards manifest in various forms throughout Roman art, reflecting the profound significance attributed to these symbols. Mosaics, relief sculptures, and frescoes depict the standards in elaborate detail, capturing their intricate designs and the pride they instilled in Roman soldiers. Each portrayal emphasizes the distinctive emblems and colors, which serve to identify and unify legionaries on the battlefield. In many instances, these artistic depictions highlight the standards being hoisted aloft during triumphal processions or ceremonial events. The imagery not only immortalizes the physical presence of the standards, but also conveys the narrative of military victories and the valor of those who fought under their banner. Such artworks often serve as a powerful reminder of the collective identity formed by the legionaries, reinforcing their allegiance to both the standards and their commanding officers. This representation of standards extends beyond mere military significance. They become symbols of civic pride and cultural identity, promoting the values of discipline and honor within Roman society. Public monuments and temples frequently feature these artistic renditions, where the standards are depicted alongside deities, reinforcing their sacred status. These artistic endeavors contribute to a broader understanding of the Roman ethos, capturing how deeply ingrained the standards were in the fabric of military and civic life. Through these visual narratives, the legacy of Roman military identity continues to resonate through time, Historical narratives within Roman literature reveal the profound significance of standards as symbols of military might and unity. Sixes, such as those by Livy and Tacitus, provide vivid accounts of battles where the presence of these emblems played a crucial role in shaping the outcomes. They often describe how standards, adorned with distinctive insignia of Nai, inspired the troops and instilled a sense of pride and belonging. These writings capture moments where the loss of a standard led to disarray among soldiers, emphasizing its role not just as a rallying point, but as the very embodiment of their collective spirit. In the accounts of Caesar's campaigns, standards are depicted as guiding forces, central to strategic maneuvers and the morale of legions. The imagery created in these narratives reinforces the perception of standards as sacred objects, deemed worthy of protection at all costs. In poetic works, such as those by Virgil, the standards take on an almost divine quality, representing the glory of Rome and the valor of its defenders. They become a bridge between the earthly realm and the heavens, illustrating the intertwining of fate and military honor. These literary reflections illuminate the enduring impact of Roman standards, echoing through the ages as potent symbols of identity, duty, and the relentless pursuit of victory. The presence of standards within military contexts extended beyond mere symbolism. They served as essential instruments in the framework of honors and awards. Each standard, meticulously crafted, represented the honor and valor of the legions. These emblems conferred a sense of belonging and loyalty, binding soldiers to their unit and the larger imperial narrative. The act of carrying a standard into battle was a declaration of purpose, reinforcing the idea that victory was not solely for the individual but for the collective. The rituals surrounding standards often included formal ceremonies, where soldiers were recognized for their bravery and achievements. Such occasions intensified the emotional connection to these insignias, as they signified not only military success, but also personal sacrifice. The elevation of individuals through awards linked their names to the legacy of their unit, ensuring that their deeds were immortalized in the annals of history. Standards also played a role in the psychological aspects of warfare. Their visibility on the battlefield served to rally troops, instilling a formidable resolve. The sight of a standard wavering against the backdrop of conflict could evoke courage among the ranks, reinforcing the unity essential for overcoming adversity. This intricate relationship between standards and military honors highlights their critical function in shaping the identity and morale of Roman soldiers, transcending time and continuing to resonate within military traditions today. The psychological impact of military standards extends beyond mere symbolism. These emblems served as powerful tools of psychological warfare, instilling fear in adversaries while fostering unity among troops. The presence of a standard on the battlefield often signified not just the rank of the unit, but also its resolve and commitment to victory. Soldiers rallied around these standards, drawing strength from their representation of honor and collective identity. In times of conflict, the sight of a standard could evoke deep emotions, serving as a reminder of the glory and tradition of their forebears. This attachment cultivated a sense of invincibility, encouraging soldiers to fight valiantly for the ideals embodied by their standards. Conversely, the loss of a standard in battle was perceived as a catastrophic event, signaling disarray and defeat. This profound connection between standards and a unit's morale could sway the outcome of engagements as troops fought fiercely to protect their symbols. The standards became central to the narrative of warfare, shaping not only the perception of the enemy but also the self-image of the soldiers. Their roles extended into recruitment and training, where the promise of honor and glory associated with these emblems attracted new warriors. Thus, The psychological dimension of military standards played an essential role in the effective functioning of Roman military forces across various engagements. The use of standards extended beyond the battlefield, serving significant roles in Roman diplomatic missions. These symbols were employed to convey authority and legitimacy, reinforcing the stature of the envoy and the power of the Roman state. The presence of a standard during diplomatic interactions signified the importance of the occasion, marking it as a formal event that demanded respect from both parties. In negotiations, standards acted as silent witnesses to agreements and treaties. Their display could deter hostile actions, signaling the commitment to peace while also serving as a reminder of military strength. This dual purpose, embodying both diplomacy and military might, exemplified the strategic thinking inherent in Roman culture. The intricate designs and inscriptions found on these standards communicated victories and honors, showcasing a legacy that could intimidate opponents and inspire allies. When moving through foreign territories, the standards often marked the path of envoys, establishing a visible link to Rome. Their presence reminded local populations of the empire's reach and influence. This practice fostered relations and facilitated communication, serving as a bridge between cultures. The standards embodied not only military identity but also the essence of Roman diplomacy, intertwining power and negotiation in a manner that has echoed through history. Their enduring significance can still be observed in the ways nations today represent themselves on the global stage. These symbols served not merely as items of military pride, but as instruments of state power and control. Each standard, adorned with insignias and colors, projected authority and unity, bolstering the morale of troops while simultaneously instilling fear in adversaries. They were not passive objects. They conveyed messages of strength and resilience, anchoring the identity of legions amidst the chaos of conflict. The act of carrying these standards into battle was laden with significance. It represented the unwavering commitment of soldiers to the state, a physical manifestation of loyalty to their leaders and the collective cause. The loss of a standard in combat was not just a military defeat but a profound psychological blow, reverberating through ranks and threatening the very fabric of unity that held the legions together. In peacetime, these standards found their place in ceremonial events, reinforcing the connection between military might and civic pride. The display of standards during parades or important gatherings served to remind the populace of the state's power and the sacrifices made for its continuity. This intersection of military identity and state control has echoed through history, influencing the formation of national identities and the symbolic representation of power across cultures. Thus, the legacy of these standards persists, underscoring their role as pivotal elements in the architecture of state authority. And the significance of standards in Roman parades and public displays cannot be overstated. These ceremonial events showcased the might and unity of the empire, with standards held aloft, serving as focal points for both soldiers and spectators alike. Each standard bore specific insignia representing legions, provinces, and significant victories, reinforcing a collective identity among the troops while simultaneously instilling pride in the citizens. During these grand processions, standards were often accompanied by the rhythmic marching of soldiers, their disciplined formations reflecting the strength of the Roman military. This alignment not only symbolized order but also provided a visual spectacle, emphasizing the empire's power through meticulously organized displays. The presence of standards in such gatherings created a palpable connection between the military and the populace, a reminder of the protective force safeguarding the state. As standards paraded through the streets, their visibility served to cultivate loyalty among the citizens. They evoked a sense of shared heritage and destiny, uniting diverse groups under a common banner. The emotional resonance of these events was deepened by the sounds of chants and the stirring sight of soldiers, reinforcing the idea that each citizen played a role in the empire's narrative. In essence, the role of standards transcended mere representation, embodying ideals of strength, loyalty, and communal identity within the expansive Roman realm. The connection between standards and military ethics is profound, as these emblems not only symbolize authority but also encapsulate the principles guiding Roman soldiers. Each standard served as a constant reminder of the core values upheld by the legions, reinforcing a code that demanded unwavering loyalty and discipline. This ethical framework was essential for maintaining order and cohesion among the ranks, particularly in the face of adversity. Embedded within the intricate designs of these standards were the virtues of courage, honor, and sacrifice. They were more than mere flags. They were tangible manifestations of the collective commitment to the empire's ideals. Soldiers were trained to internalize these values, fostering a sense of duty that transcended individual ambition. The sight of a standard in battle inspired not only fearlessness, but also a profound connection to their comrades and the broader mission. In the chaotic environment of warfare, these symbols provided clarity and purpose. When soldiers advanced under the banner, they were not just fighting for personal glory, but for the integrity of their unit and the survival of the state. The standards thus bridged the gap between personal conviction and collective responsibility, forming an ethical backbone that guided actions and decisions in the heat of conflict. Such unity ensured that the legacy of the Roman military would endure through the ages. The transition from republic to empire marked a significant evolution in military organization and identity. Standards served as a focal point during this transformation, embodying the values, authority, and aspirations of the Roman legions. These symbols, often adorned with intricate designs, instilled pride and a sense of belonging among soldiers. They became more than mere flags. They represented the very essence of Roman power and the collective spirit of the military. In this period, the shifting political landscape amplified the importance of these insignias as power became centralized under emperors. Standards took on a dual role. They not only represented military might but also the emperor's divine right to rule. This convergence of military and political symbolism solidified the loyalty of the troops to their leaders, intertwining personal allegiance with institutional identity. Battles were fought not just for territory but to uphold the honor of these standards, reinforcing their significance in the hearts and minds of the soldiers. The sight of a standard in the chaos of combat rallied the troops, providing a visual anchor amid the turmoil. Consequently, these emblems became enduring artifacts, bridging the Republic's martial traditions with the imperial ethos, ensuring that the narrative of Roman dominance was preserved through both triumph and defeat. Their legacy continues to echo through the annals of military history, and the standard served as a vital emblem of unity and strength, representing the very essence of the Roman military identity. These insignias, often adorned with intricate designs, communicated authority and instilled pride among soldiers. Their presence on the battlefield was more than mere decoration. It fostered a sense of belonging and purpose, essential in the chaos of warfare. The sight of these standards rallied troops, anchoring them amidst the turmoil of conflict. Modern military symbols owe a significant debt to this ancient practice. The principles underlying the use of insignia can be traced directly to the Roman model, where each emblem carried distinctive meanings denoting rank, unit, and achievements. This practice continues today, where symbols are meticulously crafted to represent values and history, fostering cohesion within contemporary armed forces. Uniforms, flags, and insignia now serve as tangible links to the past, reflecting a continuum of tradition, The psychological impact of visual symbols remains relevant, reinforcing solidarity among personnel. Each insignia evokes a shared narrative, connecting current military members to their predecessors, creating a living legacy. In this way, the influence of Roman standards transcends time, shaping the development of military symbolism and ensuring that the core principles of loyalty, honor, acknowledged, and bravery endure in the modern era. Excavations throughout the Mediterranean have unearthed numerous artifacts that provide insight into the significance of Roman standards. These findings include metal and wooden poles, fragments of textiles, and ceremonial insignia, each a testament to the intricate craftsmanship and symbolism inherent in the standards. In many instances, remains of standards have been discovered near ancient battlefields, their presence marking the locations of pivotal military engagements. Such artifacts often carry inscriptions, detailing the legions to which they belonged, serving both as identifiers and as a means of instilling pride among troops. Archaeological sites, like those in Germania and North Africa, reveal the diverse materials and designs employed in crafting these standards, which varied according to the region and the specific unit they represented. The persistence of certain motifs across time indicates a shared cultural understanding of their value in warfare. In addition to physical remnants, ancient texts provide context for the role of standards in military strategy and morale. Accounts from historians such as Livy and Tacitus describe the ceremonial importance of these emblems, linking them to the identity of the legions. This enduring legacy continues to resonate as modern military organizations often draw inspiration from the storied history encapsulated within these artifacts, reinforcing the timeless ideals of unity and valor. The evolution of Roman military standards traces a path of innovation and adaptation across centuries. Initially, in the early Republic, the use of the signum or standard emerged as a simple wooden pole topped with a symbol that represented a specific unit. This rudimentary form provided a measure of cohesion, guiding soldiers on the battlefield amidst the chaos of combat. As the Republic transitioned into the imperial period, the standards underwent significant refinement. The aquila, or eagle, emerged as the principal standard of the legions, symbolizing not just military strength, but also the divine favor of the gods. The eagle's prominence marked a shift in the identity of the Roman soldier, intertwining their fate with the fate of the empire itself. By the time of the late empire, standards had become more elaborate. Various symbols, including the Labarum and the Chi Rho, reflected the increasing influence of Christianity within the military framework. These changes illustrated a broader cultural transformation, as the military increasingly represented the state's evolving identity. Umué identity. In the final centuries of Roman history, the significance of standards reached a zenith. Each standard bore the weight of history, embodying the spirit of legions past, while serving as a rallying point for soldiers on the battlefield. This evolution encapsulated the dynamic interplay between military practice and cultural identity, shaping a legacy that endures through time. The role of women within the symbolism of Roman standards reveals an intricate layer of societal values intertwined with military identity. While primarily a male-dominated realm, women held significant places in the narratives surrounding these emblematic objects. They often represented ideals of virtue, loyalty, and honor, concepts deeply embedded in the fabric of Roman society. In various depictions, women personified the land of Rome itself, embodying the strength and resilience expected of its defenders. This phenomenon is particularly evident in artistic representations and inscriptions that adorned the standards. Female figures frequently appeared alongside allegorical representations of victory or triumph, serving as reminders of the homeland's worth. The presence of these figures emphasized a connection between military endeavors and the protection of family and community. The standards, therefore, transcended mere military insignia, becoming symbols of a collective identity that included both men and women. In times of conflict, the emotional resonance of these representations intensified. Women were often invoked in oaths and vows, reinforcing their integral role in the soldiers' motivations. This bond extended beyond the battlefield, marking a continuum between the domestic sphere and military life. The standards functioned as a visual reminder of the sacrifices made, both by soldiers and their families, further embedding the values and aspirations of Roman society into the very core of military practice. The introduction of Christianity into the Roman military framework marked a significant shift in symbolism and purpose. It transformed the standards from mere representations of military might into embodiments of spiritual conviction. Soldiers began to carry crosses alongside traditional emblems, intertwining their martial identity with their newfound faith. This alteration reflected a deeper connection between the divine and the battlefield, reshaping the understanding of protection and valor. The adoption of Christian symbols fostered a sense of unity among diverse troops, previously linked only by allegiance to Rome. As soldiers rallied around these modified standards, a common spiritual mission emerged, instilling a profound sense of purpose beyond mere territorial conquest. The transformative impact of Christianity extended to the values that governed military conduct, emphasizing mercy and compassion alongside the traditional codes of honor. In this period, the presence of Christian clergy within military ranks became increasingly common. They served not only as spiritual guides, but also as mediators of moral and ethical conduct. These clerics contributed to the evolution of military ethos, promoting a vision where faith and fidelity could coexist harmoniously. The standards evolved into a representation of a dual identity, where military prowess was complemented by spiritual integrity. This blending of faith and warfare gave rise to a unique role within the military hierarchy. Standard bearers emerged as vital figures, entrusted with the significant duty of carrying the emblem of their unit into battle. Initially, these individuals were selected for their bravery and physical prowess, often standing at the forefront of conflicts. Their role transcended mere symbolism. They embodied the spirit and identity of their cohorts. Over centuries, the responsibilities of standard bearers evolved alongside military strategies and societal structures. The rise of professional armies during the late Roman Republic marked a transformation in the selection of these individuals. Loyalty to the commander became paramount, and standard bearers began to be chosen not just for their valor, but for their allegiance. Their standards became recognized not only as battle flags, but also as representations of the state's authority, fostering unity among troops. In the Middle Ages, the emergence of heraldry further refined the role of standard bearers. They became responsible for displaying coats of arms, a visual language that conveyed lineage and honor. The intricate designs of banners and flags reflected not only military affiliation, but also regional loyalty. With the advent of gunpowder and more complex military formations, The function of standard bearers continued to adapt, yet their symbolic significance remained firmly rooted in the identity of the military. The intricate designs emblazoned upon these standards conveyed more than mere identification. They served as a visual lexicon, articulating a unit's achievements, lineage, and aspirations. Each emblem, carefully crafted, encapsulated the ethos of the Legion, connecting soldiers to their shared history and purpose. This visual language fostered unity and morale, allowing for a profound sense of belonging amidst the chaos of battle. Colors played a vital role in this communicative framework, with hues selected for their emotional resonance. Red, often associated with courage and strength, contrasted against the calming blues and greens that symbolized loyalty and harmony. Such choices were deliberate, shaping the psychological landscape of the troops and instilling confidence. Each standard, therefore, was more than a flag. It was a beacon of identity and resolve. In the context of a sprawling battlefield, these symbols became focal points, guiding movement and strategy. They provided both a rallying point for weary soldiers and a means of establishing connectivity across fragmented formations. The presence of a standard instilled hope and motivation, allowing soldiers to anchor themselves amidst uncertainty. This eloquent visual communication persisted through centuries, evolving in its representation while maintaining its core purpose. Standards. These emblems were instrumental in territorial defense and border control, serving as a visible representation of authority and unity. Each standard held not only military significance, but also acted as a psychological tool, instilling both pride and fear. Their presence marked the boundaries of Roman influence, establishing a clear delineation between the empire and the external world. During military campaigns, these standards were strategically positioned at encampments, reinforcing the resolve of troops. They provided a focal point amidst the chaos of battle, allowing soldiers to regroup and maintain cohesion. The sight of a standard on the horizon often signaled hope, a reminder of the empire's might. Conversely, when standards fell or were captured, it symbolized defeat, a loss of morale that could ripple through ranks. Border control relied heavily on these symbols as well. Outposts bearing standards marked the edge of Roman territory, signaling both a warning and an invitation. They were often accompanied by fortifications, designed to deter potential aggressors while offering assurance to citizens within. In this manner, standards were woven into the fabric of daily life, becoming a part of the landscape, a testament to the empire's reach and governance. The quiet authority of these emblems shaped the interactions between the empire and its surrounding territories. The standards also served as reflectors of Roman technological advancements, encapsulating the military ingenuity that defined the empire. Crafted from durable materials, these emblems often featured intricate designs and inscriptions, showcasing the artistry and engineering skills of Roman craftsmen. Their construction utilized advanced metalworking techniques, allowing for both strength and elegance, ensuring that they could withstand the rigors of battle while remaining visually striking. Innovative methods in the production of textiles were also employed, resulting in flags that not only symbolized allegiance, but also featured vibrant colors that conveyed messages across vast distances. The use of dyes derived from local resources demonstrated a blend of practicality and aesthetic appeal, further enhancing the standards' role in military communication. In this context, the standards acted as conduits of information, vital for coordination among legions. Their visibility on the battlefield provided a focal point for troops, a steady reference in the chaos of conflict. This ability to project authority and maintain order reflects a broader understanding of psychological warfare, where the presence of the standards could bolster morale and instill confidence in the ranks. Technological advancements in transportation and logistics also facilitated the rapid deployment of these emblems, ensuring that they remained at the forefront of Roman military strategy, symbolizing unity and strength across the diverse landscapes of the empire. The presence of standards within multinational armies serves as a vital unifying element, transcending linguistic and cultural barriers. These symbols, often characterized by intricate designs and colors, evoke a sense of belonging and shared purpose among diverse groups. The visual impact of a standard can instill a collective identity, fostering camaraderie even in the face of uncertainty or conflict. In the context of collaboration, standards allow for the recognition of allied forces, enhancing both coordination and operational effectiveness. This visual language operates on a subconscious level, reminding soldiers of their commitments to one another. The psychological reinforcement provided by these emblems plays a crucial role in sustaining morale during extended engagements, especially when forces are deployed far from their home regions. The adaptation of standards to reflect the unique characteristics of multinational units is a testament to their versatility. Customizing these symbols to incorporate elements from various cultures can enhance inclusivity, further solidifying bonds among the soldiers. This approach acknowledges the distinct identities within the coalition while promoting a unified front against common adversaries. As multinational operations continue to evolve, the enduring relevance of standards in conveying unity and purpose remains significant. Their presence reassures troops of shared ideals and reinforces the intricate network of alliances that underpin modern military endeavors. The decline of Roman military power saw a profound shift in the significance of standards. Once symbols of unity and pride, they began to represent a fading authority. Troops, distant from the ideals once embodied by these emblems, increasingly questioned their purpose. This erosion of faith manifested in the battlefield, where the once fierce loyalty to the standards diminished. As political instability weakened the central command, standards became more than mere flags. They turned into markers of discontent in regions where loyalty was tenuous. The sight of a standard was often met with ambivalence. This transformation highlighted the disconnect between the legions and the administration, exposing fractures that were previously concealed. The loss of territory further exacerbated this decline. Standards that once waved over conquered lands became distant memories, signifying not triumph but loss. In this context, the standards no longer inspired fear in the enemy, but instead reflected internal strife. As legions faced defeats, the fall of standards became emblematic of the broader disintegration of the Roman identity. Within this landscape, the once hallowed standards no longer bound the troops together. Rather, they served as reminders of a legacy that was slipping away, leaving behind a fragmented military structure struggling to adapt to new realities. The fading influence of these symbols mirrored the decline of an empire that had once commanded the known world. Cultural memory surrounding these standards endures in various facets of modern popular culture. Their imagery resonates in literature, film, and art, serving as a conduit to the Roman past. Ancient texts and modern interpretations often depict them as embodiments of strength, loyalty, and the martial spirit. In contemporary cinema, they frequently symbolize the epic struggles of civilizations, evoking the grandeur of legions marching under their banners. This region of collective memory is not limited to visual representations. Literature draws richly upon the significance of these emblems, employing them to illustrate themes of honor and sacrifice. They appear as pivotal elements in narratives, where characters grapple with their legacies and the weight of history. The standards evoke a sense of nostalgia for lost ideals and the complexities of identity. In academic circles, discussions about the standards extend beyond mere symbolism. Scholars analyze their role in reinforcing social cohesion and military ethos within Roman society. This exploration highlights the intricate connections between symbols, collective identity, and power dynamics. Historical reenactments further illuminate their significance, allowing participants to engage with the past through tangible representations. These enduring representations reflect a fascination with the Roman era, emphasizing how deeply entrenched its symbols remain in the human psyche, bridging ancient and contemporary worlds. The legacy of these standards continues to shape our understanding of cultural identity. The influence of military standards extends beyond the battlefield, permeating the very fabric of Roman citizenship policies. These emblems represented not only military might, but also the privileges and responsibilities tied to Roman identity. They functioned as a visual manifestation of loyalty, discipline, and social order, core values inherent to the citizen soldier. In this context, the standards were pivotal in fostering a sense of belonging among troops, soldiers, often drawn from diverse backgrounds across the vast territories, found unity under the insignia. This connection reinforced their roles not only as warriors but as Roman citizens, instilling pride and allegiance to the empire. The standards served as rallying points during campaigns, embodying the ideals of Roman citizenship that transcended regional affiliations. The process of granting citizenship was intrinsically linked to military service. Those who fought bravely under these standards gained recognition and status, solidifying their place within Roman society. This policy encouraged recruitment, ensuring a steady supply of soldiers who were both loyal and motivated to uphold the empire's values. As military standards bore witness to the evolution of warfare and governance, they also mirrored the changing dynamics of citizenship. Their presence in military camps and urban centers alike emphasized the intertwining of military and civic life, shaping the very essence of what it meant to be Roman in the empire's expansive reach. The intricate relationship between standards and leadership defined the command structure of the Roman military. Symbols adorned with the insignia of legions served as more than mere flags. They embodied the authority and unity of the troops. Each standard acted as a focal point, rallying soldiers and instilling a sense of identity and purpose within the ranks. This connection was paramount, especially during the chaos of battle, where the sight of a standard could inspire courage amidst adversity. Commanders understood the significance of these symbols, often positioning themselves near the standards to demonstrate their leadership and bolster morale. The act of protecting the standards became a vital duty, elevating the status of those entrusted with their care. Loss of a standard during combat was not merely a tactical failure, but a profound psychological blow to the entire legion. Such events reverberated throughout the military hierarchy, serving as a reminder of the bond between leadership and the spirit of the troops. In moments of triumph, standards were paraded through the streets of conquered cities, reinforcing the might of Rome and the legitimacy of its leaders. Through this interplay, the very fabric of military command intertwined with the symbols that represented Rome's enduring legacy, creating a powerful narrative of unity and resilience across the empire's vast expanse. The standards solidified the connection between the legions and their commanders, ensuring loyalty and discipline within the ranks. The presence of these standards during training and military drills served as a pivotal element in shaping the soldier's identity and cohesion. Each standard bore insignia that represented not only the legion, but also the shared ethos and values instilled in every soldier. In the heat of rigorous drills, the sight of these symbols stood as a constant reminder of their purpose and the legacy they were bound to uphold. Drills became more than mere exercises. They evolved into rituals steeped in tradition. Soldiers learned to synchronize their movements, aligning them with the rhythms of the standards being held aloft. This synchronization fostered a sense of unity, allowing individual soldiers to transcend their personal ambitions and embrace the collective strength of the unit. The meticulous nature of training emphasized the importance of maintaining formation, a practice underscored by the unwavering presence of the standards. It was not uncommon to see legions marching in precise lines, their movements reflecting the discipline demanded by their commanders. In moments of fatigue or uncertainty, the standards provided reassurance, anchoring the soldiers to their purpose. This connection, reinforced through countless drills and training exercises, ensured that loyalty to the legion and its ideals remained steadfast, even in the face of adversity. The standards thus became a vital cornerstone of military identity, evoking both pride and resilience. This resurgence in interest among modern scholars reflects a growing appreciation for the complexities of Roman military culture. The examination of these standards extends beyond mere artifacts. It delves into the intricate social dynamics and psychological underpinnings inherent in the military identity of the time. Academic inquiries have begun to unearth the multifaceted roles that these emblems played in the cohesion and morale of troops. Although of the least research psychological findings have uncovered a wealth of evidence, including inscriptions and iconography, offering insight into how standards functioned as rallying points during battles. This region, rich in historical significance, reveals not only the physical presence of standards, but also their symbolic weight, acting as both a source of motivation and a reminder of duty. The evolution of these emblems, from simple flags to complex symbols, highlights shifts in military strategy and organization. Scholars are increasingly analyzing literary sources that discuss the importance of standards in Roman warfare, providing a narrative that intertwines military history with broader societal values. These investigations contribute to a deeper understanding of how the standards influenced not only military operations, but also the perception of Roman power across vast territory. The enduring legacy of these standards continues to inspire discussions, bridging the past with contemporary interpretations of military identity. These standards served as emblems of loyalty and honor, embodying the very essence of Roman military identity. Each standard, often adorned with intricate designs and symbolic motifs, represented not just the unit it belonged to, but also the unwavering commitment of its soldiers. They were more than mere flags. They were revered icons, instilling a sense of pride and purpose among the troops. When soldiers marched into battle, their eyes were fixed upon these symbols, fostering unity and encouraging bravery. The sight of a standard could rally troops in moments of despair, transforming fear into resolve. The loss of a standard was considered a profound disgrace, reflecting the deep connection between the soldiers and their emblem. It was not merely a piece of cloth. It was an integral part of their identity, a tangible representation of their loyalty to Rome and to each other. In ceremonies, these standards were elevated, receiving the honor and respect due to a revered leader. They were often the focal point during significant military events, marking triumphs and symbolizing the Republic's strength, capturing the imagination of both soldiers and civilians alike. The standards became synonymous with the virtues of courage, loyalty, and honor, a way which defined the Roman ethos. Their presence echoed through history, serving as reminders of the sacrifices made in the name of duty. The loss of these emblems carried significant weight within the military hierarchy, influencing both morale and political standing. When standards fell into enemy hands, it signified not only a defeat on the battlefield, but also a profound shift in the balance of power. Such a loss reverberated through the ranks, sparking discussions about leadership and responsibility. Commanders faced scrutiny, as the fall of standards often led to whispers of betrayal or incompetence. Political leaders understood the ramifications, as public perception hinged on military success. A lost standard could undermine confidence in the ruling authority, potentially igniting unrest among the populace. This situation compelled leaders to reassess their strategies and alliances, often resulting in a reconfiguration of military tactics and personnel. The restoration of lost standards became a rallying point, uniting soldiers and citizens alike under a shared cause. Furthermore, the psychological impact on soldiers was profound. The act of losing a standard could instill fear, breeding a sense of hopelessness within the ranks. Conversely, the recovery of these symbols could invigorate troops, bolstering their resolve and commitment to the fight. In this complex interplay of military and political spheres, the fate of a standard often determined the trajectory of entire campaigns, shaping the future of empires and their legacies. The presence of standards served as a unifying symbol within the diverse tapestry of conquered peoples. Each banner carried with it not just the emblem of a victorious military, but also the promise of inclusion into a broader imperial identity. This integration process was critical, as it transformed individuals from subjugated groups into active participants in the larger narrative of the empire. As these new subjects rallied around the standards, their connections to local customs and traditions began to intertwine with those of the conquerors. The standards became focal points for ceremonies, instilling a sense of belonging and loyalty. In many cases, the integration was seen as a pathway to enhanced status, offering opportunities for advancement within the new societal structure. Military formations frequently utilized these symbols during parades and rituals, reinforcing their significance beyond mere identification. The sight of raised banners inspired cohesion among diverse troops, fostering a shared purpose that transcended ethnicity. The vibrant colors and intricate designs told stories of conquest and shared struggle, echoing the aspirations of both the conquerors and the conquered. These standards, as they unfurled in the winds of battle and diplomacy, served to bridge the divide between different cultures. It was through this amalgamation that the empire found its strength, ensuring that every citizen could partake in the legacy of their collective journey. The role of standards extends beyond the annals of history, influencing contemporary military strategies and the study of military identity. These emblems served as unifying symbols, encapsulating the values and aspirations of a civilization that dominated vast territories. Scholars today examine how these icons shaped not only the battlefield, but also the psyche of soldiers and civilians alike. The exploration of standards offers insights into the social dynamics of ancient Rome, reflecting the interplay between military prowess and civic duty. This examination allows for a deeper understanding of how identity was constructed and maintained through visual representation. The evolution of these symbols illustrates the shifting priorities of the empire, marking transitions from republican ideals to imperial ambitions. In modern military studies, the legacy of Roman standards serves as a critical framework for analyzing the significance of symbols in contemporary armed forces. They provide a lens through which to explore the cultural and psychological impacts of insignia on unit cohesion and morale. Research continues to reveal parallels between ancient practices and today's military organization, emphasizing the enduring relevance of these historical artifacts. As these studies progress, they illuminate the complexity of identity formation within military contexts, showcasing how the past remains intricately woven into the fabric of modern military ethos and structure. The standards served not merely as markers of military identity, but also as symbols of resistance against oppression. In ancient Rome, they represented unity and strength, standing tall in the face of adversity. Each standard bore insignia and motifs that conveyed messages of loyalty and resilience, acting as a source of inspiration to soldiers confronting external threats. Such imagery reinforced the belief that their fight was not only for territory, but also for the preservation of their culture and values. In times of turmoil, the standards became focal points for rallying forces, instilling a collective spirit among troops. The sight of a standard raised high amidst the chaos provided reassurance, embodying the promise of protection and the hope of triumph. The act of guarding these emblems during battle was a testament to their significance, reinforcing the soldiers' commitment to defend not just the physical realm, but the ideals they represented. These artifacts influenced later military traditions, where flags and banners continued to symbolize resistance. The connection between identity and these standards reveals an enduring human trait, the necessity to assert one's beliefs amidst oppressive forces. This enduring legacy echoes through the ages, illustrating how symbols of resistance shape collective memory and fortify a sense of purpose in the face of overwhelming odds. The battle for identity continues, grounded in these ancient echoes. The enduring legacy of Roman standards in military identity is evident in the continued reverence for symbols that embody unity and loyalty. These emblems, once held high in the face of conflict, represent more than mere military insignia. They encapsulate the ethos of a civilization that shaped the course of history. This significance has transcended centuries, influencing modern military organizations that seek to establish a strong bond among their ranks. In contemporary contexts, the ideals represented by these standards persist, fostering a sense of belonging and purpose among service members. The designs, characterized by their intricate details and vibrant colors, serve as a reminder of tradition and honor. These artifacts connect soldiers to a rich heritage, guiding them through the trials of modern warfare. Much like their ancient counterparts, the physical remnants found across former battlegrounds evoke a sense of nostalgia, urging reflection on the principles that underpinned a formidable military culture. Each standard, a silent witness to countless campaigns, preserves the stories of valor and sacrifice, reinforcing the idea that identity is built on shared experiences. These influences ripple through time, manifesting in ceremonies and regalia that pay homage to the past, ensuring that the essence of Roman standards remains a cornerstone of military identity, deeply embedded in the fabric of modern armed forces.